I'm so excited. Today I'm going to teach you how to make your favorite dessert. I'm going to teach you how to make a creme brulee.
I love creme brulee. I love the crunchy, sugary top, and then it's got that creamy custard in the middle. It's just delicious.
That's awesome. So what I've noticed in my years of being a chef is that people fall into two different camps. There's the people that love shallow creme brulees that has, it seems like more of the crunchy sugar to custard ratio. And then there are other people like myself who prefer the correct way to make it.
Please turn that opinionated.
Yeah, and I like thicker creme brulees because I like the custard to be nice and cold, and I like the sugar on the top to be crunchy, but I like more the custard part. Which one do you prefer?
I just like them both, so I'm not gonna pick.
Well, cool. Well, today I'm gonna teach her how to make a raspberry creme brulee.
But I know it's very versatile. What other things could you put inside?
Yeah, virtually anything. So in this recipe, you could substitute strawberries or blueberries or whatever for the raspberries that we're going to put in. I worked at one restaurant where the pastry chef made this really awesome creme brulee with chunks of chocolate and bits of croissant. So the best part about creme brulee is basically it's 5 ingredients. So why don't you add the egg yolks? So we're starting with 6 egg yolks. Add the ½ cup of sugar. Pinch of salt. You can use any salt, you just need a pinch. Every pastry needs a little bit of salt. We're going to add about 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I like vanilla. Now, once you start whisking this really slowly, cool. Now watch out. And then I boiled 1 quart of cream. Just brought it to a boil, and now we're going to whisk it into the egg yolks. All right, stop. That's it.
That was like way too easy.
Pretty simple. Obviously, it's not ready. I need to bake our creme brulees. So what we're going to do, just take any roasting pan. You want a deep one like this one that's, you know, because you've got to put the containers in here, and then you're going to have to fill it up with water so it cooks really gently. What I like to do is I take any recycling I have. I mean, these ads that they send you and you just throw right into recycling, you never look at, make perfect things. I didn't have enough, so I just grabbed some pieces of paper we were recycling as well. And so what's
the point of that?
So what this does is this acts as a diffuser and helps the creme brulee cook more gently and more evenly. You know, that's the secret. You want the custard to set all the way through, not to be overcooked on the edges or whatever. I mean, really, this is the hardest part of cooking creme brulee. And what we're going to do, we're going to use different kinds of dishes for our creme brulees. So whatever oven-proof dishes you might have, you could even use a coffee cup or whatever. I happen to have these, so we'll use a couple of these. To appease the people that like thinner creme brulees, I'm going to use these as well. And then I also have just some kind of straight up old school ramekins. And so what we'll do, we'll start out is just putting raspberries on the bottom if you want to help out. And just cover the bottom layer with raspberries. And I wouldn't really worry about being too neat. I mean, in all honesty, these are going to cook a bit and nobody's going to be looking at it.
As long as it's in a single layer.
Yeah.
Now, because the shallow pan is in here.
Yeah, let's put less. Like, why don't we just make a nice pattern, because you're going to kind of see the tops poking through a little bit. Another reason why I prefer the deeper ones. Huh?
You're doing that kind of pattern. Okay.
Yeah, just kind of straight up the middle. I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Now, because it's a more shallow pan, doesn't that mean it's going to cook quicker than the other ones that are deeper?
Yeah, we'll have to pull those out sooner. And really, you can just throw them in. You don't have to fuss so much. These are great. All right. So now we filled the containers. We got our raspberries. We're going to take our creme brulee batter and just pour it over. And some of your raspberries might float up to the top.
And you want to leave, it looks like you're leaving about an inch on the top for the deeper ones?
I'm more worried about evenly spacing this out between the 6 molds than I am.
So it doesn't matter how much space you leave?
No,
As long as you can pour sugar over it.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Pretty good job there, Chef.
Yeah, I may or may not have done this before. And when you're done, you know, just if you have any batter left, just go back. You know, use it all up. You don't want to have any extra. What would you do with this? Alright. So obviously the deeper ones are going to take far longer to cook than the shallow ones. You know, you could use 6 of the same size, so it's really easy. Now we're going to pour in water, and what you want is the water to just be halfway up the mold. So obviously we have some shallow ones, so we're going to have a little bit less water because of that. And what the water does also diffuses the cooking, so it's not such direct heat. It's going to cook far more evenly. And then what we're going to do is we're going to roast or bake this in a 325 degree oven. Generally about 45 minutes. The shallow ones we'll probably check in about half an hour. And you know they're done when they're set. So it'll kind of look like Jell-O did, you know, like if you wiggle Jell-O. So it'll be a little bit jiggly. But it'll be set. It might be a little bit soft to the touch when you touch it. Creme brulees get firmer when you let them refrigerate. So after we bake them, then we have to let them sit for a couple hours or overnight.
Before we torch them.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, this is a great dessert to prep ahead of time and get this done the day before your party. All right, so let's pop it in the oven. Okay, the thin creme brulee has now cooked for 30 minutes, and I just want you see how this is jiggly? So that is perfectly cooked. This will solidify the rest of the way in the refrigerator. And we'll take a look at the other ones when they're ready as well. And now we're going to settle the argument about which one is better, the thin one or the thick one. For this, we've brought on a special judge. Can we have a drum roll for our special judge?
Hello, my name is Bo, aka Bo Dog. I'm gonna be the judge.
Okay, so on this one, I'm gonna use just plain white sugar. So we're gonna sprinkle on probably about a tablespoon. And we're gonna make sure it gets all over evenly. And then we're going to use this torch. And you can get these torches at a hardware store. They cost about $15. And so what you want to do is hold it carefully and just move the torch all over like this.
And what a cool thing to do at a party too. Because you can do this and then a couple minutes later be able to eat it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, think about like interactive fun with your guests. And you see when the sugar is just starting to caramelize and burn like this. Let's just make sure. Oh, there you go. See how beautiful that looks? All right, so let's let this one cool off. If you guys could put 3 raspberries and 1 piece of mint. Now watch out, that's hot. And then on the other one, some people also believe that brown sugar works better. So let's check that out. And so we're going to put brown sugar and just kind of spread it all over the place. And then we're going to burn the same thing. Burn the sugar. Oh, look how quick that one caramelizes. I don't know. I've always liked white sugar better. The brown sugar just caramelizes so quick, it almost looks like it burns. But we're going to decide which is better. Well, I don't know. Look at that. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. All right.
It looks crispier on the
Whoa!
brown sugar.
Look how beautiful you did. Now do that the same on that one. God, it smells so good, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And a cherry on the top.
There you go. Now, special judge Bodog.
You don't have to wait a few minutes for it to get hard?
You know, let's start with the thin one first.
Okay.
Okay. So who wants to break into it?
Go for it. Nice.
I don't know if you...
Crunchy.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
I have to get a raspberry.
Get a little of everything, right?
Okay, let's all dig in. Mm.
Mmm.
What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
Delicious.
Nice ratio, I think. You think it's too much sugar, huh?
So
much
is it 0 out of 10?
Okay. What's your score for this one?
All right.
Well, let's see when you compare it to this one. Are you ready for this one? Let's go for it.
Oh, this one. Hey!
You go first.
Okay,
I
the
love
brown
the
sugar
crunch.
doesn't have the same crunch. But look
It's
at
not,
that.
yeah, it's definitely like smaller chunks of a crunch with the brown sugar.
Boy, that one is delicious.
More custard. So what do you think, Bo? What do you think is the best? Which one?
This is a 6.5.
Out of a 10? Okay. And this one? Hey, you don't get to eat it all. This one is what?
10 out of 10.
I told
with
you,
you.
the thick one is the best. So thank you very much for joining us on Pisto and Pastis.
Hey,
And remember, you should cook with your family, especially when you have young kids.
but don't let them eat all the dessert.
Have an awesome day. Take care. Bye-bye.